Okay, as we start out, notice that I have my book already tabbed. You can do that with yours, or you can just open to where you need to. Blue represents my budget. So my monthly budget pages are all tabbed in blue. Okay, they're all tabbed in blue. I started out by writing down the income and from all sources in which I gained income from. So maybe if you have a side job that you're earning income from, you can put that there. You can put the actual date next to it. You can say whether it's the same in the budget. Sometimes people earn more or less. I am a salaried employee, so typically it's going to be the same twice a month pay period. You may have a situation where yours is different depending on the number of days in that pay period. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you write down what your income is, what you anticipate the income is, because remember, we're preparing the budget for the month. And I know some people are like, oh, that's too long, it stretches out too far. The goal is also to continue to look through here, and you'll notice that I put in other pages that will help you not only look at the budget for the month, but we have yellow here, and that's our scripture reflections. But after the scripture reflections, I have a weekly money plan. And in that weekly money plan, I have things here like set bills that I know January 1st, my mortgage, utilities, cell phone comes out that time. And I keep that in blue. Anything that I know is subtracting from my income, I have that in blue. So if you notice, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on Tuesdays, I plan this year to be more consistent with my investments. And you can decide whatever it is that you want. You can highlight that, and that's what I love to do. I love to highlight. On Tuesday, I'm going to deposit money into my investment account. Now, I may not get paid until after that Tuesday, because depending on when you get paid, you can decide to make sure that that deposit is made based on your pay dates. I said, because I want to be consistent with this, every other week I receive my regular job paycheck. So I am putting in here, depositing something from my account. And I have a set number that I want to do, and that's just to deposit it into the investment account, not necessarily to purchase the investments. If you notice here, 2 days later, my goal is to purchase investments. All right, and so that's how I am starting out my year. On the to-do list, there may be specific things that you need to do in that week. I may need to make a deposit to my bank, and I actually put deposit into my stock. You may find that those bills that are not automated, that you may have to actually on Tuesday go to pay for the pet sitting care. It may not be automated, or you may need to go online to specifically put in for your pet sitting if you're planning on going out of town and you have that as an expense for that month. You may want to remind yourself. So even though we have our budget sheet here and we have our income dates and our amounts, you also want to utilize the sheet where you are outlining each week. So that's week 1, January 1st through the 6th. And even putting down here where I said waiting to grocery shop, that was a challenge of mine last week. Actually, it's a challenge for the month of December because I didn't want to go out and spend over budget. December happens to be a month where we, eat out a little bit more. We possibly, and maybe you as well, maybe you possibly had bought and made special foods during this month. So I have to make sure that I'm patient enough to wait until the following week or waiting to a pay week to use to grocery shop. That's when you go in your pantry and you go in your refrigerator and you eat what's in your pantry. You eat what's in your refrigerator. And that will help you also to maintain your goals throughout the year, your financial goals. My successes last week, I can, boast of, oh, I didn't overspend on, we'll say, unnecessary items. Maybe a success for last week could be, you might say, oh, I, didn't go out for coffee anytime that week. That could have been a small success. We want to highlight our successes each week. We want to make sure that we're paying attention, and even the things that were challenging to us, hopefully we can write a little note that can help us to overcome that challenge in the next season. So with our budget sheet, if you notice, it has the time. So I know this is January because that's the one that I highlighted. And I have all of my expenses listed, as well as my savings, my sinking funds. And what I mean by sinking funds, guys, there are certain funds that you are saving for. Say, for instance, hey, the kids get out of school for spring break and you want to take them to one of the parks. You want to, or plan a staycation, plan a vacation where you'll be, taking them to, we call it Top Golf, where different attractions that you may want to put in there that you're saving money for. You may be saving for a bigger summer vacation and you want to put that aside in your sinking fund. If you pay your insurance every 6 months, you may create a column in your sinking fund for your insurance. Of course, you want to list your debts, and the best way to pay off your debts is to go from the smallest to the largest. Of course, you pay the minimum on all of those debts, but you put a little bit extra to the smallest one. So, and then when you get that one paid off, you put the money that you were paying toward that debt to the next smallest one. So we want to be consistent with that, but you have to list that in your budget. One of the other things in our budget, it talks about our total income, our total expenses, total savings, sinking fund, total debt, and then whatever is remaining. I try to not have anything in that remaining bottom, but you could say, yeah, I want to have something down there. It could be miscellaneous, because what if you forgot that your child was going to a birthday party and you did not put that in January's budget, and you needed to have maybe $50 to spend to prepare for that birthday party, or some other things that may come up that are not monthly installments, monthly bills that may come across. We also have in here, now that I'm mentioning it, before that is a birthday budget list. So you will know, oh, I noticed I have 3 major birthdays in January. So I wrote those down. And I wrote the dates and also of what I might be spending, I will put in the column beside that. And I'm going to highlight in blue whatever I put in that column, how much I'm going to spend, because blue represents the money that's going out of my account. And then I just use my yellow highlighter to represent what's coming in on that actual budget sheet that I have here. So yellow. All right. One of the things, the best things that I feel to get your biggest bang out of this is to create, not only have this budget sheet completely filled out, not only use the weekly plan, because this is 52 weeks of my money plan for the week, 52 weeks, but also is to utilize the 30-day challenge. 30-day challenge, people. This is something that I found very beneficial for if you are someone who's like, you know what, I need to make sure that I am not spending money on, coffee runs for that month. So I put make coffee at home. That's the new money habit I want to achieve. Why is it important for me? Well, I can use that money to go toward my vacation. I can use it toward investing. I can use it towards, maybe giving bigger gifts, charitable gifts. And the outcome could possibly save me, $75 if I drink coffee at home. And then on this part, you're going to check off each day that you achieve that all the way to the 30 days. Well, guess what? If you find yourself at day 15 and you're like, ooh, I got to have my coffee run, you know that, hey, I did well. Maybe you can implement that in a later point, because we have these 30-day challenges in each part of each month that you complete your budget. I put some of the pros and cons and what I learned from this challenge. So you want to know, what did I learn about myself? I learned that I can actually do this. I went 15 days. What's keeping me from going 20 next time? I realized that maybe I didn't save as much money as I thought I would, because I was making coffee at home and it ended up costing me, because of the type of coffee or whatever the case may be. You find out things about yourself as you create those challenges. You may have a no spend month. I no spend on any non-essentials. And so if that's your 30-day challenge, no spend month in January, like a lot of people like to do, then guess what? That may be, and you'll see, okay, each day, oh, wow, I made it to day 21 and didn't realize that I needed to, possibly, or wanted to, go and hang out with friends toward the end of the month or something. So these are things that you can incorporate in your budget as you are working on this 30-day challenge. Love these 30-day challenges. With that being said, let's move on to, let's back up a little bit, because in here, it's loaded, guys. Not only do we have birthday budget, but we have holiday budget. I don't know if you're a big holiday guru or you don't celebrate any of the holidays, but one thing I love to put in here is holidays that are special to me. And that's Mother's Day and Father's Day. They're very special to me. I know that I'm going to do something wonderful for my mom and my dad. And so therefore, I make sure I put that as a holiday that I'm going to spend money on. Another part of this is setting long-term goals, okay? So important to set long-term goals. I know people are like, oh, I got my budget. That's long enough, 30 days. It's hard for me to stay on top of that. That's why we have the weekly money checks, money plans in there. But to think about what your bigger goal is, you have to have a why. Why do I want to save money? Why do I want to live on a budget? Why is it that I want to have sinking funds? Why is it that I even need to? Well, there may be things that you want to do in the future, and you realize, if I don't do this, I won't get to that. So one of my goals is to invest more. So if I want to invest more, and I might say, okay, I'm going to invest at least $5,000 this year. You may say, oh, that's not that much. Guess what? Maybe to me or to someone else, that's a lot of money. So I need to be intentional. $5,000, that means what? $600 a month. And, so is it around that? Anyway, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll just say it's a certain amount of money that has to be put out each month. So I know, and it's not just $10, it's not just $5. So if that's the case, I set up what it is each month that I will need to set aside, okay? 5 times 10, that's 5,000. And then that will help me get to my goal. You know, maybe leave the wiggle room for some months where, you know what, I may not be able to put that aside that month. But the goal is to make sure that you set those larger goals so that you can put yourself in better position when it comes to achieving those goals. Yours may be to save for a down payment for a home. And you need that, you want that 5%, or you want that 10%, or you want 20%. And if you know that the home that you're looking at is, you know, $500,000, you're going to have to come up with what, at least 20,000 down. So you want to make sure that you have money set aside, that you're setting goals throughout that year so that you can achieve that goal by the end of that year. And that's one of the reasons why this is in here, for those larger things, for that longer term. You know, maybe you're trying to pay off your car, and you want to pay it off by the summer. And so let's say, how much would you have to divide that into per month in order to pay off that car by the end of the summer? And another thing, we do have a calendar in here. We do have 2024, 2025, 26. But I want you to always start out with what?